You're listening to the Social Selling Simplified podcast. Stick around if you too are obsessed with learning things that actually work and believe that success leaves clues. We're all about identifying results-producing roadmaps and getting super clear on how to scale and grow your online business. From part-timer to president, social selling expert Ashley Shaw will help you connect the dots and take the guesswork out of what works to grow a social selling empire. It's time to hear from social selling legends, listen in on truthful conversations, and learn the best tips and tricks to reduce the marketing overwhelm so you can build the social selling business of your dreams. If you're ready to go all in, no holding back, and build the business you've always wanted, you're in the right place. Here's your host, educator, social selling guru, and fitness industry OG, Ashley Shaw.
Hey, it's Ashley Shaw again, founder of the Authentic Marketing Funnel and founder of Business Bootcamp for Fitness Coaches and the creator of the Social Selling Simplified podcast. So welcome to part 2 of my 4-part series, the 4-part consistent paycheck formula. In this episode, I'm going to teach you how to prime people to buy from you by building an authentic authority machine for your business. And more importantly, this will help you build a consistent income where people are always wanting to buy from you. So if you are a health or nutrition coach, but you aren't sure how you can create a consistent paycheck for yourself, or you're a coach looking to create authority and establish yourself as an expert in your space so you can separate yourself in a sea of sameness, you'll discover how coaches like you and me can position ourselves as an expert and why it's critical you focus on this right now. In part 1, we talked about a social posting strategy so that you can consistently have an influx of people paying attention to you on social media. I shared how this is going to immediately help you have people engaged in what you're doing. So if you haven't heard that episode, go back and listen to it now and then come back to this one. So today, I'm going to build on what we discussed by sharing the number one thing you must master if you want to move people to a place of seeing what you're sharing to actually seeing you as somebody that they can trust. Think of this as your first step towards making this happen. Now, this is entirely a new way of thinking about building a consistent income, so you're definitely going to want to pay close attention. I'm also going to share how to do this in record time. So when you know how to do this, you'll know exactly how to do this once so you can actually set it and forget it. The goal is to break you free of constantly having to convince people to buy from you. This way, you'll never have to worry about how to build authority, which means you'll be selling people without having to sell them. We've got a lot to cover in this episode, so be sure to have a pen and paper ready to take notes as you follow along. Hey coach, I finally have something that I've been dreaming of providing for you. I know that you definitely didn't start this business because you really felt like pestering your friends and family and getting ghosted by everyone. Chasing people down or having to follow up with them is definitely hard work, and it can feel so awkward and uncomfortable for everyone involved. But your upline probably told you that this is what successful people do, and they didn't mention to you that unless you're this superstar salesperson right off the bat, you're going to struggle forever if you keep doing it that old school way. 99% of coaches quit because they suddenly declare themselves this expert online and then go back and ask everyone who knew them to just start buying from them when they just started working out last week. And this problem applies to all network marketers, not just coaches. But the 1% that actually succeed have made it because they've caught on to a different system that's been proven to work. And it's just something that nobody really talks about. It's all about taking some simple steps to position yourself as an influencer first. So soon, instead of asking people to talk to you, you'll attract ideal customers who are already excited to learn from you and buy from you. They'll know exactly what you're about and how you can help them. Go to ashleyshaw.ca/FYourUpline to learn more and see exactly what I'm talking about. You don't have to hunt people down and make them talk to you in order to get your bills paid for the rest of your life. Check out my short book called F What Your Upline Said and get an entirely different approach that will feel much more organic and authentic. That's ashleyshaw.ca/FYourUpline. I'm so excited for you to start implementing these 4 simple changes in your business and see how it absolutely transforms how you feel about your business and the results that you're able to get. So anytime you're trying to build authority, it's unavoidable that you'll hit roadblocks. You might have experienced some of them already. Things like not being confident, fear of rejection, and even the time suck that comes with being a coach, and then also learning how to have to create all this content. Well, here's what I know to be true. If any of this sounds familiar, it's totally normal. But if you simply accept this at face value, you'll never build a consistent coaching business. I know where you're coming from. I get that it feels like some of this is out of your hands. It's frustrating to come up against things again and again. And I've been there myself, and I've seen other coaches go through the same thing. And it can be especially stressful because you know that getting past these challenges are key in helping you create a consistent paycheck. So in this episode, I'm going to make it easy for you. I'll help you avoid these usual headaches by showing you simple steps I follow to create authority in a market in which I'm new or I'm trying to separate myself in a sea of sameness. And this is going to save you tons of time and tons of effort trying to convince people you're an expert and that they should trust you. However, before we go any further, it's important I bring to your attention something that often gets overlooked as you begin to see this on a practical level. And ignoring this virtually guarantees you'll have a tough time trying to build a consistent income within your coaching business. So it's easy to think that posting on social media and just sharing your journey is enough. It's a dangerous assumption to make, and I don't want you to fall into this trap because at some point, most of us believe this is true, and myself included. I was definitely in that camp as well. And this big assumption is why so many coaches are struggling and still struggling. Coming up, I'll reveal the truth behind the old belief about why posting and sharing your story isn't enough to convince people to buy from you. And more importantly, I'll share what you need to know instead. So let's get into the meat and potatoes of today's podcast. So I want to talk about first how to create authority and trust and why this is actually super important. So as you know, there are so many people out there doing the same thing as you are, or at least on the surface, it appears as such. So one reason why it's so important to establish yourself as an authority is that it helps you to separate yourself in a sea of sameness of other people. The other reason why it's so important is that nobody will ever buy from you if they can't see that you're an expert and that you know more than them. So that's about building trust and establishing yourself as somebody that knows more about this topic than they do. Because it's like, you'd never hire a personal trainer at the gym that wasn't as fit as you were, right? It's just simple, simple trust issues, right? We want to be able to look at the coach that we are going to hire and know that they know more than us in the category we want to hire them in. So it's really important that you understand why trust and authority is a basic necessity in sales. You just have to have that leg up of knowing more and establishing yourself as an expert. Now, a lot of the programs that are available to coaches and, fitness and nutrition coaches, whatever your field of expertise is, you provide and bring a ton of value and authority to the products that you have. But you've got to back it up and actually prove that you have some facts behind you. You are able to educate people. So now that we understand that and we really see the need to have authority and trust built into our strategy, let's talk about actually how you build that. So step number one is that you need to be teaching people something to establish yourself as an expert and help them knock over some limiting beliefs. This is an important piece of your strategy. So this is going to be woven into your social posting strategy, but that's not enough, right? When you are teaching people something, which can, as I said, come in the form of posts or lives or stories or that sort of thing, that's one component. But we know that social post delivery rate can be very low, right? Unless you're paying for ads, it's really hard for people to just, you to rely on the fact that they're going to see your post. So you need to do something more. You need to create something that you can use and always refer people back to so that you're positioning yourself as an expert. Step number 2 here is your ideal customer is telling themselves a story as to why they're not successful. So your job is to prove to them why this might be a misstep. And this is what I would call your hypothesis. So if we look at something like, let's say you're going to create something to establish yourself as an expert. Let's say it's a 14-day meal plan. the way that you position that meal plan, you need to talk about why people typically fail and position why this is going to make them successful. That is your hypothesis. So an example could be, when you're a mom, you are so busy with all the things that you are doing for your kids that it's easy for you to slip to the bottom of your to-do list. So your hypothesis might be something along the lines of why starting with, this 14-day meal plan and making this the focus is going to actually help feed yourself. But also all these meals are meals that kids will eat too. So you're not having to make multiple meals. So what you're basically saying is you're knocking over that limiting belief that you need to make multiple meals to eat healthy. And your hypothesis is that when you cook for yourself first and you pick specific meals that everyone will eat, it's really easy to actually feed everyone. So that's step number 2. Step number 3 is you want to create something called a lead magnet. When I talked about creating this 14-day meal plan, that's a lead magnet. So if you've never heard of that terminology before, what it is it's a downloadable PDF that really puts into the hands of your ideal customers why they should trust you. And it's a downloadable tool. So it's really nice for them to be able to get into their hands something that proves you're an expert. It really separates the coaches that are just dipping their toe in the water versus the ones that are serious. Like, this is what I do, and this is a tool that's going to help you. This tool, and it can also be called, a freebie, a lead magnet. You might have heard all these terms before, but it's something that gives them quick wins right away that will help them start to trust you because they see the types of things that you're doing to help them and the tips that you're providing are hacks, and they can kind of get a bit of a sample of what you're all about. So this is a really, really important tool to have if you are a health or nutrition or fitness coach. And the next step here is that you can actually use this tool to collect emails. So you've definitely put in your email before to what's called an opt-in, where somebody has given you a freebie or lead magnet in exchange for your email. So you're going to use this lead magnet or freebie to collect emails. And this is super important. The return on investment of email is crazy high. And I'm going to get into that into part 3 of this podcast. But it's such a really important part of your marketing strategy to have a lead magnet to help you collect emails. And then step number 5 is that you're going to use this link in your bio to drive people to download a copy of your lead magnet, and you'll collect their email on the way in. They'll get a copy of your lead magnet. This is going to help you build your email list, but it's also going to take people off social media and have them in a more intimate space. Email is such a more intimate space. And when you are delivering this freebie or this lead magnet, you are instantly positioning yourself as an authority that knows a lot about this topic. Like, you're legit. You have a freebie. You have a resource available for them to download. So those are the 5 steps and why it is so important not only to create trust and authority, but to have this as a part of your strategy. And as I said, I am definitely going to get into more about how the email marketing piece works in this strategy of creating consistent income, but that is coming in part 3. So let's do a quick review of what we covered today. So first, we saw a whole new way to think about how to create yourself as an authority in your industry. Now, you can use what you learned here today to immediately help you start building a consistent paycheck, because your lead magnet will start doing the work for you. You can stop trying to convince people and just send them a place to download your lead magnet. Plus, you found out how to do this without having to cold message people, so you will immediately save time on all those cold messages and trying to convince people to join you. It's been a jam-packed episode, so make sure to review your notes and put this all into action right away. Speaking of taking action, before we go, make sure to leave me a comment right below this episode. Tell me, what would your life look like a month from now once you've applied this? Knowing how to build authority and trust absolutely helps you build a consistent income, because you're converting way more people from prospects into buyers. What does that look like to you? Get clear about the impact it'll have on your life, the lives of your family, and those around you. So let me know in the comments below. And if you found this episode useful, please make sure to tag other coaches facing these same challenges. Now, in the next episode, I'm going to share with you the entire strategy behind how to hack what your ideal customers need to hear so you can say all the right things to get them to buy. It builds on everything that we've talked about here today. And most importantly, it outlines everything from learning what your ideal customers want to exactly what to say to get them to buy. I believe this is the most valuable training in the whole series. You'll walk away with so much clarity about how everything fits together, and you'll see the areas that are most important for you to look after right now. So if you're a health or nutrition coach, this will give you the exact track to learn what you need to say to get people to buy. And if you've been in the social media game for a while, then you'll learn the specific steps you can take right now to amplify the momentum that you already have. Plus, you'll identify a few things which are likely holding you back from getting the language right the way that you want to. Now, the next episode is all about equipping you for long-term success and giving you the big picture strategy for making the progress you're after. But for now, I'll leave you with this. Just by learning what we've covered today, you're one step closer to your ultimate goal. You want to build a consistent paycheck. And you and I both know it's about so much more than that because it means you'll have more time and more financial independence and more freedom. And that's what really matters. So take what you've learned here today and start putting it into practice. Maybe you're just in the beginning stages, or maybe you can apply it right away. The key thing is to get moving. You'll want to take these small steps, which will get you where you want to be. Next up, I'll share the strategy which will help you build a consistent paycheck. I'm so excited just knowing what a difference this will make. I can't wait for you to listen to the next episode.
Thanks for taking the time to level up today. If you're ready to commit to personal and professional growth, move forward, make money, and grow your health and fitness business, head to my free community on Facebook, Business Bootcamp for Fitness Coaches, so I can support you every step along the way. Thank you so much for tuning in today, and we'll see you right back here next week on Social Selling Simplified.